Hi everyone, I am Daud from BSED English 3A. So, my topic is about an objective type of teachers made as test. So, let's go. Before anything else, this is our learning objective, so you can pause to read it. Objective examination refers to a type of assessment or test that is designed to measure the person or the student's knowledge or understanding of a particular subject in an unbiased and standardized manner. It is called objective because the answers are clear-cut and very specific, allowing for an accurate assessment of the student's knowledge. So in objective examination, the questions are structured in a way that requires the students to provide a single correct answer or choose the correct answer from a set of options. The assessment is based on factual information and does not have involved subjective opinions or interpretation, just like the essays that we know. In recall examination, the students are typically presented with a question or a prompt, and they are expected to generate or recall the relevant information from their memory. So, the questions or prompts are usually open-ended and do not provide any hints or clues. This means that the students cannot rely on any external aids or cues to help them remember the information that they're going to answer. The two subtypes of recall examination are the recall, simple recall, and the completion. So in simple recall, in this subtype, the student is asked to provide a direct and complete answer to a question. For example, a question could be, what is the capital city of France? So the students will think will think about the question and think that it's Paris, like that. Second subtype is the completion. In this subtype, the student is given an incomplete statement or question and is required to fill in the missing information. So it was filled in. For example, the question could be, the process of converting food into energy in the body is called blank. So the students will going to fill in that blank. So that was the completion type of examination. So now let's proceed to the recognition type. It is an examination also known as the recognition test, a type of assessment that requires the student to identify or recognize previously learned information from a set of options. In other words, it tests the student's ability to recognize and select the correct answer from a given set of choices. So in this type of examination, the students are typically presented with a question or a prompt followed by a list of options or answers. They are then asked to determine which options or answers is correct based on their recognition of the information that they have. The options provided may include both correct answers and incorrect choices, and the students need to accurately identify the correct options. The recognition type of exam has 6 subtypes. So one of that is the alternative response. In an alternative response assessment, also known as short answer or open-ended question, requires the individual to provide their own response or explanation to a question or prompt. Unlike multiple choice or matching assessments, alternative response assessment do not provide a set of options to choose from. Instead, the test taker need to generate their own answers or solution. This type of assessment allows for an open-ended and subjective responses, as individuals have the freedom to express their knowledge, reasoning, and understanding in their own words. Here's the example. So, let's just imagine the question as like this. Explain theme of love in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. So, it may be answered by like this. In Romeo and Juliet, love is portrayed as a powerful and transformative force and transcends societal boundaries, the intense passion between the two young blah blah blah. So, in that kind of assessment, it can give the students really to dig for their knowledge for the topic that they have recently. No, there's no choices, but it's on your own on how you evaluate your answer and how you answer that question. So another subtype is the well-known multiple choice. This we know that this is presented in individuals with the questions or prompt followed by a list of options or potential answers. The students are then required to select the one correct answer from the provided choices. Each option typically consists of a statement or completion of the question, and the students need to choose the option that they believe is the most accurate or appropriate response. So in multiple choice assessment, it is commonly used in various subjects and allow for an efficient grading as the possible answers are predetermined. The example of multiple choice questions are: who is the author of To Kill a Mockingbird? A. Harper Lee, B. J.K. Rowling, C. Mark Twain, and D. Jane Austen. So in multiple choice, the correct answer is letter A, Harper Lee. So you are going to provide, or the students will going to provide an answer and choose to the options that is provided for them. So ganun siya ka-easy. So the next subtype is the matching type. This is an assessment involves two sets of items. One set consists of a list of terms or descriptions, and the other set contains a list of corresponding options or choices. The test takers needs to match the items from the first set to their correct counterparts. This type of assessment assesses the individual's ability to recognize and connect related information. Matching type assessments are often used to test knowledge or of vocabulary, concepts, or relationship between different elements. Next is the rearrangement type. The rearrangement type assessment, also known as the ordering or sequencing task, requires the students to rearrange a set of items or elements in a specific order or sequence. Individuals are usually presented with a jumbled or disordered list and need to correctly rearrange the items from a logical or correct sequence. This type of assessment assesses the individual's ability to organize information and understand the sequence or steps involved. In a rearrangement type assessment, it is commonly used in subjects like maths, language, or logical reasoning. Here's an example. Next is the analogy. Analogy assessment involved identifying the relationship between two sets of items and applying that relationship to a set of items. The students are presented with a pair of words or pair of items that have certain relationship. They are then required to select the options that exhibit a similar relationship or analogy to a given pair. Analogy assessment assesses the individual's ability to recognize patterns, similarities, and logical connection. This type of assessment is often used to test verbal reasoning and cognitive abilities. So here's an example. So the last subtype is the identification assessment. This involves recognizing or identifying specific items or elements from a given set or of context. The students are presented with a set of items, and then they need to correct or identify or label this item based on their knowledge or understanding. This type of assessment assesses the individual's ability to recall and recognize information. Identification assessment can be used in a various subjects and can include tasks like identifying parts of diagram, labeling, geographical locations, or recognizing specific terms or concepts. So here's an example. All in all, the use of objective examination offers several advantages. Firstly, they provide a fair and equal opportunity for all test takers, as the questions are designed to have clear and definitive answers. Secondly, they allow for an efficient scoring and evaluation since the assessment can be easily graded by comparing the test taker's response to the correct answer. Thirdly, objective examination can provide statistical data on the performance of individuals or the students or group of students, allowing for comparison and analysis. And this time, doon natin nakikita or doon tayo nakakagawa ng intervention of halimbawa dito sa part 1 maraming tama and then sa part 2 may mga mali, maraming nagkamali. So doon mo makikita kung ano yung next strategy that you will going to use so that the next thing you will going to teach them is going to be effective. However, it is important to note that objective examination have limitation as well. They may not fully measure critical thinking skills, problem-solving abilities, or creativity, as these aspects are difficult to assess through objective means alone. Additionally, objective examination may not capture the depth of understanding or conceptual knowledge that can be assessed through subjective assessments such as essays or an open-ended questions. So that's it. Thank you very much everyone for listening. Bye!